Lord Rosfield, is there aught the Undying might assist you with this day?
Perhaps. My brother said that your order was helping him with his quest to uncover Ultima's origins. Have you learned anything of note since last we spoke?
Little and less, I regret to report.
I see.
Be assured, however, that we will not rest until the truth is known. Even now, our archaeologians scour ruins in every corner of the realm for traces of Ultima's touch.
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back as far as Phoenix Gate.
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the fallen civilization, as if protecting the secrets concealed within.
Secrets we'd see unearthed.
Should our methods be of interest, my lord, mayhap it would please you to observe some of our number at work.
Would that be possible?
Of course. A survey is being conducted not far from here. Perchance you are familiar with Kretov, a small hamlet built around a fallen airship. I was due to visit my colleagues there to collect their preliminary findings, but if you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be honored to relate any discoveries they have made to you directly.
All right. I'll go and meet with them.
They will be most gratified, I am sure. Might I suggest you take the road through Titan's Wake? It will lead you straight to the village after but a short walk.
Thank you. I will.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord. May the Firebird's flames burn ever in your heart.
Ready, go? Enough of you, are there? This might take a while. Time to fight. Straight home now. Oh no. You'll pay for this. There may still be survivors. Fire and flame! To me, Blade! Whatever that thing is, I'd say it's their leader. Should have stayed in the past. These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
Who are you?
Ah, forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield, are you not? We are archaeologians, tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared, our brothers here occupied their attentions. Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty to its conclusion.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering Ultima's origins, a duty of the highest import, as I'm sure you will agree.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which all Undying aspire. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence, Lord Marquis?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agreed to collect your findings in his stead.
I see. That is most kind. Pray, take them then, with our humble thanks. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart, as it does in ours.
It's one thing to lay down your life for another, but for a survey...
Ah, you are returned, my lord.
I collected your colleagues' preliminary findings. Here, take them.
My thanks. I shall study them, and inform you forthwith if I discover aught that might aid you in your fight against Ultima.
Cyril, your survey party suffered several losses in Kretov. Losses which could have been avoided, had the others not chosen to complete their work, instead of saving their friends. Were these your orders?
No. This was their choice. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is our sole duty, and should we die in discharging it, so be it.
Even when death is avoidable.
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which it would be fruitful to argue. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations, and your opinion of our methods, however earnest, is not like to change them. We live to serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists for that purpose, and that purpose alone.
Cyril, I know that you and your brethren answer only to Joshua, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their lives without good reason. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for years to come. Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to serve him. Please. For all our sakes.
I thank you for your advice, my lord. If you will permit me to respond, our faith in his grace, Joshua Rosfield, is absolute. And we of the Undying will do what we believe is right to fulfill our duty unto him. As first shield to the Phoenix, I am sure you understand what it means to do one's duty.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind. And it is my hope that we may continue to do our duty together.
Let's go. Damn it. The whole village has turned. What'll do, girl? Stay down. Too slow. Yeah! Be safe. This won't be easy. That's all of them. Owain can uncross his toes now.
Ah, Sid. Wasn't expecting you back so soon. So, is it good news or bad?
Good, thankfully. Here.
Ah, that's brilliant. Thanks a blimmin' million. I'll fit 'em to the smelter right away. May I present to you the Telemon Furnace? Ain't bad, is she?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let your good deed go unrewarded.
It's fine, really. My bag's flexible enough already.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few improvements to it yet.
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make some more room? And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on. The Telemon furnace was just what we needed to perfect it. It's a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong, but it's also, well, stretchy, if you can believe it.
Stretchy metal. Well, if you insist.
That is the spirit. You'll love it, I promise. So, what do you reckon?
It's actually quite ingenious. Thank you, Owain.
Shh, don't mention it. You earned it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Reckon we'll have all kinds of uses for it around the hideaway. Can't think of any right now, but that's our job, innit? Dreaming up new ways to make life easier around here. Maybe even out there, too. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together. That bag of yours will be the first of many. You mark my words.
They'll hardly believe their eyes, I'm sure.
With in the hands of Akashic. We'll need to find another port. Preferably one as well hidden as the ironworks.
According to this, Barnabas Tharm is called the last...
Come back.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of Papio nuts and all.
The man himself. We were just about to make a start on that sword I promised you. It's funny, but none of this would have been possible without your help. You remember Camille? We'll be using his leather work for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues' engraving.
A team effort led by the greatest blacksmith alive.
Now, save that talk till the thing's finished, yeah? Right. I'm ready if you are.
To the bellows it is then.
Well, bugger me. We actually did it.
The sword to end all swords. Ragnarok.
It's quite something.
I trust you'll take good care of it.
Thank you. Both of you.
So, does this make you pair the greatest craftsmen alive, then?
This? Nah. This was just following the footsteps of the greats of old. It'll take more than that to earn us our place in history. But we're up for the challenge. Here.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from Dravost.
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok. Something worthy of a legendary outlaw like yourself.
That's a weapon I'd like to see. You leave this list with me.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the next, who fancies raising a cup to friendship reforged?
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about time I had something to celebrate.
Then tap the kegs! Vulcan's boys are on their way!
So what do I owe the honor? I never thought me and Zoltan would ever speak again, let alone work together. And if it hadn't been for you, we wouldn't. You've been a good friend to me, Clive. The best. What do you want? Anything else?
Doris should be somewhere nearby. Assuming she's still here.
The world seems to be changing so fast lately, I can hardly...
Want to know how to tell if the world's going to rack and ruin? Look for busy flames.
To rack and ruin, it don't mean we have to.
Anything catch your eye? There you go. Much obliged. Take care out there, eh?
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
It's been a pleasure, Doris. Just like old times.
I'll give your offer some thought, my lady.
How goes the investigation?
Sid, what brings you to Martha's Rest?
You. I heard you were out here on your own, tracking our slaver. I trust you're being careful.
Of course. And it had to be me. The bearers from the Dragon's Eyrie confirmed a long-held suspicion of mine that the slaver we've been tracking is an old acquaintance. She's no fool. If we'd come in force, she would have spotted us straight away, and then vanished without a trace.
That was her just now, wasn't it? So, was it a fruitful reunion?
I'd say so. She tried to recruit me. Seems her time in Rosaria is coming to an end. She's abducted bearers from across the region and is looking to smuggle them back into Sanbreque. After her brush with those beastmen on the road to Northreach, she hired herself an Imperial escort, which she wants me to join. She's dangerous, Cid, but I think I can stop her.
Then I'm going with you. I'll take care of the escort. You can see the bearers to safety. Where are they?
The Baum Archers, soon to break camp. You go on ahead. I'll follow once I've sent word back to the hideaway.
Clive, I was just about to send for you. I'd like you to take something to Sir Wade up in Eastpool. Seeds for planting. Thought it was about time they started growing their own food. I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime, of course. But if Eastpool's going to survive, it's got to be able to fend for itself. As of those poor bearers. They've lived their whole lives in servitude, but now they're their own masters. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest how to provide for themselves. So it's up to us to teach them. And if you're wondering why you, well, the Wagoneers taking supplies up that way have been coming back with more and more reports of Akashic around the village of late. Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it, but I think even he's starting to worry. And if he's likely to share those concerns with anyone, it's you.
All right.
Thanks. Wouldn't ask if I didn't have to. There. That should be enough to keep him in Gazal Greens for a few years at least.
Gazal Greens?
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. But they're hardy, they grow fast, and they fill a hole. Better that than something that'll wither away at first frost. And chocobos love 'em too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together to get Eastpool back on its feet, I mean all of us. They ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right and they're just about bearable.
I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. And if he don't, well, I'll go up there and show him myself.
I'm sure you will. Good girl. Run like the wind. All right. Good. They haven't broken camp yet. How did Doris come to know a slaver, I wonder?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready the bearers. We're leaving.
Back to civilization, is it, Mom?
With all haste. Lest any of you lackwits start talking like these feckless bumpkins. I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more and I'll be docking your pay.
Yes, Mom.
Oh, but before you go, it appears we have company. Kill him.
You're welcome to try. So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men. I'm not the swordswoman I used to be. I surrender. Do with me as you wish, Cid the Outlaw.
Cid!
Ah, Doris. I take it you're not here to rescue me from our brooding renegade? You know, I always wondered where you'd vanished to. But casting your lot with this criminal of all people...
Better fighting for a cause than killing for coin. I'm sorry, Cid. I should have told you sooner. This woman, my former master, once trained bearer children to be weapons in service of the highest bidder. She raised me like a daughter, and I did terrible things to earn her favor.
It wasn't all terrible, surely. We had our fun, too. You were always so eager to learn, and had such clever hands. All my other children took either to the blade or to the books. Always either or. But you proved yourself a master of both. That's why I kept you for my own. How about it, my little dagger? Care to swear that blade to me again?
I never swore my blade to you, nor will I ever. I fight for a higher cause, to liberate the bearers of this world. Farewell, Master. Thank you for making me the weapon I am.
You always were a righteous child. Perhaps that's the reason I loved you so.
What do you want to do with her?
I am not the killer she wanted me to be. Not anymore. And she no longer has friends in high places. The Dame does, though. Her connections at the Imperial Court will see that justice is done.
All right. If you're certain.
I am. And thank you for everything. Now, I better let these bearers know that they're safe.
And I should head back to the hideaway and put Cole's mind at ease.
Welcome back, Cid. Doris's message just arrived. I hear you saved more bearers from being smuggled across the border.
With any luck, they'll be joining us in the hideaway shortly. Oh, and your letter. You don't need to worry about Doris anymore.
I'd been hoping as much. She mentioned one or two things in her report. So the slaver we'd been chasing all these months was her former master. Wish I'd known. She's been arrested, by the way, over in Sanbreque. Went quietly, or so we're told. And she won't be getting off lightly. The Empire may have no love for bearers, but it's none too fond of black market traders either. Can't have been easy for Doris.
I'm sure it wasn't. But don't worry. She'll be all right.
I hope so. Suppose you should know, eh? You had quite the past yourself before you came here, or so I understand. Anyway, Thanks again, Cid. The Cursebreakers would be lost without Doris. And you, of course.
Keep up the good work, Cole.
Ah, Lord Rossfield. What brings you to Eastpool?
A delivery from Martha.
These are Gizal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings, then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be able to revive the old wheat fields, but they'd long since gone to seed. Only without the seeds.
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to plant and tend these, so that they'll be able to fend for themselves.
That's not a bad idea. These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought them here. They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves and their loved ones. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves, bearers and Guardians alike. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses. There have been alarming reports of...
The Horde is closing in. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Damn it all, I thought we'd have more time. Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcements.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while now. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might be able to defend the village, but...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may just scrape through, but I fear that's rather an enormous if.
What if you could call on reinforcements from Eastpool?
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live, not die, fighting for their lives.
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. Are the bearers not men? Do they not wish to see Eastpool saved? Though they may not be trained soldiers like your Guardians. What help they are able to offer could still prove the difference between victory and defeat.
You're right, my lord. I will appeal to them. My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter, to serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will, a home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Cid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place. Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool! For Eastpool!
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love the sound of my own voice.
Lord Rosfield, my lady, we're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points around the village. Upon engaging with the Akashek, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can, steadily retreating all the while.
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, we will focus purely on defense at first. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point will be the village square, the perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them and fall upon them, and for you and I to finish them off.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerves to coordinate the retreat. I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade, but you'll be needed. Please, leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you have all the glory.
Sir Wade! They're here!
Then you know what you must do. We work together, everyone playing their part, each shielding the other that no man might fall, that Eastpool might live on. For Rosaria!
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you ask.
And I will do as you ask.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too then, eh?
Right you are, Martha.
The calm before the storm. And here it comes. I will not let this village fall. Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rosfield! Change of plan!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic Curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So wait, how many Akashic remain in Eastpool?
Hard to say. My men are still facing some resistance, but I think the worst is behind us. I could order a detachment or two to fall back and...
No. Let them finish the job. You stay here too, Sir Wade. Your men need you. I'll go after the Curl. Join me only when Eastpool is won.
If you're sure, my lord. May the Founder protect you.
Ready, go?
Yeah!
There it is. With me, Torgal. All right. Back to Eastpool.
Lord Rosfield, the Curl, is it?
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. And for you, my lord. We were able to eradicate the rest of the Horde. I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further attacks, but all seems quiet for now. I hesitate to say it, but I think it might be over.
I think it might.
We did it. We saved Eastpool. Thank you, my friends. Thank you.
No, Sir Wade. It's us who should be thanking you. You brought us together. Showed us what it means to fight for what you hold dear.
We never had nothing to call our own before. We didn't know what it meant to protect it, but now we do. We really do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. You and your people saved us, and still we doubted you. But there's no doubt in my mind anymore. We're free men now, so we have to start acting like it. We have to fight to protect what's ours, to protect Eastpool.
And we shall. We all shall. Together.
This is our home. And if anyone or anything tries to take it away,
They'll have us to answer to.
Come on then. Let's get to work.
This village isn't gonna rebuild itself.
They're not slaves anymore.
No. They're Rosarians. Your father took pity on the bearer's plight, and I believe if he was still with us today, this is what he would have wanted.
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord, and do what I can to help rebuild the village. After all, this is my home now too. And I could hardly call myself an East Poolian if I didn't pull my weight.
I think you'll find it's East Pudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud all the same. I'll have to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest getting outclassed. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count on your support, Martha?
Of course, and I'd be counting on yours too. Us Rosarians have got to stick together, haven't we?
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you get the chance. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right. I will.
Lord Rosfield, do you remember our very first mission together? Clearing the goblins from the Stillwind Marshes?
How could I forget?
There's one sight that I shall never forget. You, facing off against that giant Morble. Not a trace of fear on your face. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up. When the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may as well just lay down my sword and surrender. But every time, I would think back to the look in your eyes that day and remember what it means to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage. Thanks to you.
Sir Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be safe in yours.
I'll do my best.
The hero returns. It's lucky you came by when you did, eh? Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went and saved Eastpool and all.
I just did what I could.
And it's only right that you get rewarded for it. Take it before I change my mind.
Thank you, Martha.
So, Eastpool's finally back on its feet again. And a home to free bearers. Who'd have thought we'd see the day, eh?
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, working for themselves. Like your hideaway, but not even hidden away. Though I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that reminds me of when I first met Sid. Loath as I am to recall that particular day.
I take it you didn't always see eye to eye. What happened?
Well, if you really want to know, I started doing what I do long before I met Sid. In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least how he came to meet me. He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day, that whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing. To make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw how he tried to change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Cid and my father started.
Suppose you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come after us. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the wings, eh? It's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope.
Just a little.
Anyway, enough nattering. Better get back to work. Let's see about making everyone some dinner, shall we? The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty stomach neither.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Here's everything we've received and everything promised. You earned this. All done?